All right, good to go. Have fun.
Thank you. Well, welcome to the Asiacrypt 2020 Rump session. So I'm Stephen Galbraith, and I'll let my co-hosts Ju-Young and Yu Sasaki introduce themselves as well.
Yeah, welcome to Rump session. I'm Jiyoung.
And I'm Yu Sasaki. And welcome to the Rump session.
Great. So yeah, thank you to the organizers for inviting us to run this. And welcome to Korea, virtual Korea. I was looking forward to coming, but anyway, there it is. So thank you to the speakers for submitting Rump session talks. I hope you're all here. And thank you for the audience for staying tuned in. Hopefully this will be interesting and entertaining. So we have a system in case somebody talks for too long, they will hopefully be, to signal that their time is up, there will be some Korean music playing. So I think Ju-Young has the music ready in case anyone runs over time. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
I hope we don't get a copyright violation.
No.
No copyright, because our students themselves play the music. We recorded it.
It's special music for the Asiacrypt Rump session. I'm just recycling slides. So there's a prize for the best Rump session talk. It's a very good prize. The prize is dinner tomorrow night at the second best restaurant in Daejeon. If you can get to Daejeon, we will buy you dinner.
Yeah.
I checked that none of the Rump session speakers are in Korea, so this should be safe. All right, so it's my great pleasure to tell you about the IACR Distinguished Invited Rump Session Talks. We've appointed Daniel Bernstein as the inaugural winner of this prize due to his distinguished rump sessions in the past. The important trick about this is that the speaker has no idea what's happening. This is slide karaoke. He doesn't know the topic. He doesn't know the slides. So thank you, Daniel, for agreeing to be the lucky victim of this performance.
Well, thank you for the amazing invitation. It's such a privilege to be in this position.
Now, if I was sensible, I would go straight from this to your talk, but I'm not that sensible. So I'll just quickly switch to wherever I put it. Oh, and I can. You will also be. I'm happy to announce while I'm finding my place. I'm happy to announce the. You seeing that? I'm happy to announce this beautiful certificate that you get to show that your wonderful prize.
Nice ink stains. Nice coffee stains.
All right. Anyway, where was I? I will have to find this. Right. See, I'm not very good at this. I really should have a assistant helping me for this. Here we go. Are we sharing now? Are you seeing your talk, Dan?
I am, yes. Yeah, thanks for preparing the slides.
So I can tell you, so you'll just tell me when you want to go to the next slide. So I'm going to introduce Daniel. His topic is why NSA involvement in the NIST standardization is good for cryptography.
Yeah, well, thank you for the invitation to give this talk. Just to double check, I have 20 minutes, right?
If you want to hear the Korean music, you have 20 minutes. Otherwise, you have 5.
25 minutes, even better. All right, great. So yeah, for people who haven't heard, I actually have just started at a new position, kind of tired of this whole academic thing. So I decided to move to a new organization, which has a longer and distinguished history in doing cryptography. First of all, so NSA, for people who don't know about it, this is the United States National Security Agency. NSA is responsible for some of the most amazing things that you've seen. NSA has the best people. NSA has, you don't even know the names of these people, but they are the best people because they work for NSA. So next slide. So example of something that we've done before at NSA, and it's such, I feel so proud being able to say we for, you know, NSA. I mean, it's something which in the past I thought of as this different organization, but now that I'm working for NSA, it's like, wow, it's so wonderful to be working for NSA. For instance, something I wasn't involved in because this was an NSA project from years ago. It's called Dual Ether. And this is something where it's a cryptographic design, which is the best cryptographic design. We labeled it internally as an exercise in finesse because we were so proud of how awesome this design was. This is using elliptic curves. You can see on the screen there's some P's and Q's. These are points on some elliptic curves, and there's some stuff happening where the initial state S0 goes through some X coordinate of like multiply some point by something. And well, there's too many formulas on this slide. That's what happens when you delegate the slide preparation to your math postdoc. But anyway, the point is this is a really subtle design which achieves exactly the security properties we wanted. And we got this thing deployed. We had to invest some resources into getting it deployed, but it is out there. It is something which people are still using today, and it's doing exactly what we want it to do. All right, next slide. All right, another thing that we've managed to be involved in is there's this ongoing National Institute of Standards and Technology project. Now, for people not familiar with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, that's one of our subdivisions at NSA. They're responsible for putting out standards which people can use without our having to have our names on it, because sometimes, you know, people get just overly awed by our greatness if they keep seeing NSA's name on it. So if we have something labeled as NIST instead, then you know, it doesn't distract people with the NSA logo and the NSA name. Now, this post-quantum cryptography standardization project, this is something where we've had meetings with NIST for years now. We've been talking with people. This is a slide which is summarizing what happened, and it's something where, you know, as a sub-organization of NSA, NIST is maybe not, you know, they don't have the ability to call on our full resources, but we talk to this sub-organization so that we make sure that they're doing what we want. Next slide. All right, so what's coming up next? Now that I've joined NSA, I hope that I'll be able to bring some useful advice and experience to making the designs even better for the future. And NSA there's this wonderful history where NSA has put out, look, the data encryption standard, for example. Originally, people were proposing it with 128 bits, and then we managed to get it reduced down to 56 bits while still having people believe that we had strengthened it. And I mean, this sort of thing is awesome to look back on, but cryptography keeps moving. Cryptography is not something which just stays there. What we do to have, for instance, NSA designed fully homomorphic encryption. This is something where I don't know what the future is going to hold, but it clearly, with better computers that we have and better computers that everybody else has working together to support our security goals, we have a wonderful future ahead of us. Next slide. All right, thank you very much. This is something where, again, if anybody out there, we only want the best and brightest, or people who at least can fill out CVs that pretend to be the best and brightest. We would love to have you joining us at NSA and helping us with the future of cryptography. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks very much, Dan. Brilliant. It just shows that we made the right award for this distinguished speaker.
Well, thank you again for the honor of the invitation here. It's something where I really, I mean, look, joining NSA, of course, is the top highlight of my life. But beyond that, I would say number 2 is this distinguished Asiacrypt invited Rump session presentation. Thank you for the time.
Excellent. All right. Now we move on to the next speaker, who I've lost track who it is. So I hope someone is controlling this. Great.
I'm going to hope that I'm next.
Please start.
Yeah, there we go. And so I'm going to talk about a definitive benchmarking tool for cryptographic implementations. We're searching for the most excellent primitives. And this is joint work with myself and some unnamed co-authors for reasons that will become apparent soon. So how efficient is your crypto system? This is like the million-dollar question. In theory, we should be okay with something that is, big O, right? But some people want more. They want these like milliseconds and seconds for whatever reason. The question is, how do you get these numbers? I mean, you could try making them up. It works at most once, but you could try. Generally, you have to make a reference implementation of your crypto scheme. You run this, you time it, and voila, you've got some number in seconds and milliseconds or hours if you're doing really well. And ideally, this should be in some standard language, something okay, something very good, something exceptionally good, something mediocre, something terrible, something exceptionally terrible, or something that you haven't understood the question completely, which is why my co-authors shall remain unnamed. But really, this only makes sense if you run them on the same platform. And this is generally not the case, because you always have to, well, it runs super fast on my machine bit. And the reason for this is you can tweak and optimize your code for your hardware. And this makes it seem a lot faster than it is. So ideally, we would have the machine for this. This is one standard machine for everything, but we don't. And what you do when you don't have something in hardware, well, you make it in software, as you can see by my excellent green screen. So how do we implement crypto machines in software? Well, good news, everybody. Oh, there we go. Microsoft Excel just announced that they're adding Lambda calculus to Microsoft Excel. And, well, this, as we all know, makes it Turing complete. And as my co-author immediately pointed out, we can now do Magic the Gathering in Excel, which I said is wrong. And then he pointed out it's equivalent to LaTeX, which I said is technically correct. But what everybody else was thinking is we can now implement crypto schemes in Excel. And Excel runs on Windows, it runs on Mac, it runs on Linux. It runs on BlackBerry Pi fridges. They're like Raspberry Pis, but they have more antioxidants, so somehow they're better. Still, I haven't had the heart to explain to him why he's wrong. And really, we all know that Excel will be the bottleneck in all the computation. It doesn't matter how good your code is, Excel is going to be the factor that limits it. So this will really put the same playing field. Everything will be truly comparable. And this will lead to excellent running times. Yeah, I'm going to keep on hammering on that pun. But more or less, that's all I have to say. So now I think we can all agree that all crypto implementations must be done in Excel. This gives you accurate and comparable cross-platform time measurements. Spreadsheets! Yay, spreadsheets! And that's my talk. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
I see there's some chat messages, possibly for me.
It's just random stuff, I think.
Ah.
Okay.
Oh, no. The spelling was intentional. He says, hoping they get away with it. Thank you. I'm gonna.
Okay, great. So stop sharing and we'll move on to Stefan. Great. Go, Stefan.
Okay, hello everyone. So you probably cannot switch. You're probably all familiar with authenticated encryption, which gives you ciphertext integrity. So if you flip any bit in the ciphertext, yeah, it will not decrypt. It will tell you this is not authentic. But what you might be less aware of is like, what happens if I change the key? So maybe you would expect like, okay, I decrypt the same ciphertext with a different key, so it should be invalid. But turns out this is not true. So some of you might be aware there are schemes where you can change the key and it will still be authentic. And for many AED schemes which we use in practice, like AES, GCM, Charger20, Poly 13, even like the more robust ones like AES, GCM, CIF, it's possible to construct practical examples where you have two keys which decrypt the same ciphertext. So this is a bit outside the typical security properties you require from an AED. So is it a problem in practice? Well, yes, it is a problem in practice. So You might be aware of the invisible salamanders problem, which showed that Facebook's message franking had issues with this. Then we looked in a recent paper, which is on ePrint, at various real-world applications where this can be an issue, and found vulnerabilities in, for instance, the AWS encryption SDK. And there's another very recent paper on partition and Oracle attacks, which shows that the ShadowSock's proxy server and also early versions of the opaque protocol were vulnerable to this. But yeah, can you really exploit this in practice? So this is something we were interested in our paper. And what we showed is that, yeah, so there are a lot of restrictions on how to construct this, but actually you can get around of a lot of them. And in the paper, we show that you can generate a lot of different file format combinations. So you have like 250 combinations of file formats you can combine. So if you decrypt one ciphertext with one key, you get a PDF. If you decrypt the same ciphertext with a different key, you get a malware. So just if you download the paper on ePrint, there's no malware in the paper. There's a PDF viewer. So don't be afraid of downloading the paper. So how do you fix this? Well, actually, there are AAT schemes which are already key committing, but this is usually not a property covered by the AAT schemes. There's no proof for that. And there's also been work looking at encryptment, which already gives you this property. But yeah, one issue with that is that typically the schemes, they are not as performant, and they're also not a drop-in replacement. So you would have to replace the AAT schemes we use. And we all know how painful and long it will take to replace AAT schemes. So in our paper, we looked a bit at more generic and drop-in solutions. And yeah, one very simple fix is, so you can just encrypt the constant with so if you append, for instance, a 0 block to plain text, you decrypt it and you check if it's still 0. Because if you use a different key, it's very, very likely that it will not be 0. However, so this raises an interesting problem. So this is true for an ideal cipher, but this might not be true for AES. So if we look at AES here, we can choose the key, or we know the key. So can you find two keys of AES which both encrypt 0 to the same value? And if you can do that in less than 2 to the 64 operations, this would be very interesting. So if you're looking for an interesting cryptanalysis target, please look at that. Thank you.
Great. Thanks very much, Stefan. All right, I think it's Christian next. Are you able to share screen?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you. Please start.
Yep. So the point of this talk is to announce the winners of the second round of our LOMC picnic cryptanalysis competition. Yeah, what is LOMC? LOMC is a special purpose cryptographic primitive for Cipher, which has very few end gates. Picnic is a signature scheme that is based on an MPC approach. It recently advanced to the third round of the post-quantum crypto process of NIST, and its hardness assumption is relying only on this special purpose primitive and nothing else. In order to incentivize cryptanalysis of LOMC in this very special setting, we've set up a cryptanalysis competition a while ago, thanks to great sponsoring from Microsoft and a donation from IOV. So the setting is special in the sense that the cryptanalyst is only given a single plaintext ciphertext pair. And the challenge is to have the best attack on 2, 3, or 4 rounds. For the case of a full nonlinear layer and for the case of partial nonlinear layers, which we are equally interested in, we also have similar challenges. So with no further ado, the winners of the second round are Supradeep, Kasia, and Serge, all 3 of them from EPFL. They are winning in both 2-round categories with the details you see here on this slide. In total winning €4,000. The paper will be on our challenge website very soon. So congratulations to all 3 of them. With this, we announced the third round of the LOMC challenge as well, with challenges similar to before, with increasing prices for increasing number of rounds. and there's still more than 40K in the pot. For this round, again, 22K are 22K are up for grabs. Well, the details are as usual on the challenge website. Deadline is in about 4 or 5 months, just before Eurocrypt. And yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Okay, thanks, Christian. So the next talk is by Johnson. Johnson, can you share the display? Johnson, are you here? In that case, I think I'd like to suggest moving to the, switching the order and moving to the next talk. That's okay? Join on, Stephen? Okay. So let's go the next talk first. So Sarge, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. So please go ahead.
Okay, so welcome to my presentation. So that's about time travel. It's a joint work with Vincenzo Iovino and Martin Vigneault. Probably you remember this movie Back to the Future in 1985, where they made a time machine and they set as a golden rule, never set it to 2020. So at this time we didn't understand why, but now we know the reason. So and I will tell you, it's because time machines can be used to break digital contact tracing. So here is how to break digital contact tracing with a time machine. It applies to all the Google and Apple exposure notification contact tracing, which have been adopted by many countries. So you just assume that you have an adversary here. You assume that this adversary is able to control the time and to send a victim to any time, and you assume also that he can download keys before the victim. So this adversary just have to wait until someone gets sick. So these days we don't have to wait for too long. The adversary doesn't need to know the person. So this person gets sick. In the end, this person receives a password. And with this password, she will upload the keys that she has been broadcasting over Bluetooth to a bulletin board, which is available publicly. And we assume that this adversary is able to catch those keys before the victim, which is a very realistic assumption because typically the victim will check on the bulletin board once every 4 hours. So if the adversary is checking every minute, he will get the keys before the victim. Once he gets the key before the victim, he will also learn when this key was active, and then he will be able to send his victim back to this time when the key was active, replay it, and after that, he just have to wait until the victim is back to present, download the key, and raise an alert. So this is how we can inject a false alert on the victim's phone. So for that, we need a time machine. Right now, we don't really know how to send people travel through time, but for smartphones, it's very easy. Of course, the adversary can just have physical control on a smartphone and a victim and change the clock value. It can also do some intrusion on the smartphone and change the clock. So it's an intrusive attack. If we don't want intrusion, it's also feasible. We just have to interfere with the NTP protocol, which is sending the clock value to the smartphone. So this is an adversary that we built with a Raspberry Pi. It costs something like $10, and it can communicate over Wi-Fi and over Bluetooth. And with the communication over Wi-Fi, what we do is that we modify the NTP messages which are sent to the victim, and then the victim receives some wrong time, and the victim is sent back to the past. And after that, we can repeat the keys over Bluetooth. It works assuming that the phone of the victim has a priority on a clock which is sent to NTP, which is typically the case if it's disconnected from the network. But if it is connected to the network, then we have to run another time machine attack. And for that, we need a rogue base station. And this is a rogue base station, so we can easily build one. And this rogue base station can send some wrong time information to the telephone, and it works. And we can send a victim to any time in 100 milliseconds. So it's very efficient. We can also try with a GPS signal, but for this we didn't try. So what we did exactly is that we wait until a key is published on a server. Then we figure out when this key was active. We send the victim back to this, it will be considered as a contact, and this contact will count as 5 minutes because it didn't scan in the 5 minutes before this time. And then after this is accounted, then we can make a second jump through time and to move this victim 5 minutes ahead. When it arrived 5 minutes later, the victim realized it didn't scan for 5 minutes, so it scans immediately, and it will count as a second scan of 5 minutes. We can do it a third time, and after that, we just have to wait until the smartphone comes back to prison by itself, and wait until it downloads the key on a server and raise an alert. So the total duration of this attack is less than 1 second. So in less than 1 second, we can make the smartphone of a victim believe that he has met a person for 15 minutes, and this person was diagnosed positive. We can easily do it massively over a radius of 500 meters, and we can even boost to several kilometers with better equipment. So we tried it with many apps. It worked with the app of Switzerland, the app of Italy, the app of Germany, the app of Belgium. So these are the screen capture when we receive an alert. It works in England, New Zealand, Austria, Spain. We didn't try all the possible apps, but believe us, it works. Here is the e-print paper when we describe our attack, and if you're, there are also some nice videos which are available, and if you're interested, you can also visit this website. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Serge. So is John-san here? If you're here, I think you can send a message to the co-chairs. Then we can start your talk. And okay, so let's move to the next talk. It should be by Alex Brukov, but he can't show up. So instead, I'd like to read their slides. So let's show. So can you see the slide now? Okay. So this is an announcement about hiring postdocs and the PhD students at the University of Luxembourg. The team of cryptographers and security experts at the University of Luxembourg, headed by Professor Alex Brukov, has several open positions. So for more information, please visit the URL. And the topics are applied and symmetric cryptography, and cryptographic blockchain, white box crypto, and privacy. And the calls will be open till the end of December 2020. So if you're interested, you should visit the URL as soon as possible. Okay, that's it. So let's move to the next session. Just one. Next talk, sorry. So next talk is about Idersect 2021 by Yuji Suga.
Yes, hear me. Okay, this is a short announcement about the call for papers of the Idersect next year. This workshop will be held in Tokyo on the second week of next September. Can you hear me?
I believe you mean 2021.
2021. We will welcome your excellent papers related to all layers as you see about cryptography, cybersecurity, system security, information security, and privacy. So the deadline is 29th March. We are very happy to hear the news. NCS publication was already confirmed from Springer. So in the end, our local committee cannot make a decision about the conference start today. So I mean that we have just two choices: in-person conference in Tokyo or free virtual conference. We'd like to make an effort to decide it as soon as possible and announce via our homepage. If you have any interest, please check idlsec.org. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Suga-san. And I think the talk by John-san is ready now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm very sorry. There was some mistake in the calculation of time. So, yeah. All right. Can I present now? So, can I share my screen?
Can you show the slides? Share
Oh, okay.
The slides?
Yeah. I'd like share my screen now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Share. Yeah. Okay, can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
See it.
All right, so thank you everyone. Yeah, it is my pleasure to announce ACES 2021 in the Rump session of Asiacrypt 2020. I'm Jun Sang Baek from University of Wollongong, Australia, and I'll be a program co-chair of ACES 2021 next year. So the conference will be held in the beautiful city of Perth, Western Australia, from 7th of July to 9th of July. And we expect the conference to be held offline, I mean, not virtual, but we should see the situation and we will look into closely what will be going on, but we hope that it will be held okay. So the organization of this conference, there are 3 general co-chairs, Hui Kui, Joseph Liu, and Surya Nepal. And also there is a program co-chair from CSIRO Data 61, Sushmita. So I've been working closely with her for the organization of this conference. So far we have 60 international experts in the various fields of cryptography and cybersecurity for our PC members. And this is an important date. The submission deadline is 15th of February, just one day after the Valentine's Day. And the notification is 6th of April, 2021. And we will give 14 days for the authors to prepare their final version. So 20th of April is the camera ready due. And this is a conference website. So you can visit the conference regularly and check whether there is a submission link. And I think we already put the submission link. And the proceedings is as usual, published by LNCS. And this year, we have 2 special tracks, blockchain and artificial intelligence, machine learning security, because this is such an important area these days. So we particularly interested in receiving the submissions in these fields. Okay, so I mean, now is a bit fun bit. So, okay, I want to introduce the Perth. I've never been there myself, but I got this one from General Chair and asked me to present. So this is the Kings Park and Botanic Garden in Perth. This is the biggest inner city garden in the world. So please visit Perth to see this. And the Perth Mint, I heard there is the biggest coin in the world. So you can see it in this Perth Mint. And there is a bell tower. So I heard that it really rings. So the bell rings. So you can hear this big bell rings. And Swan Valley, I mean, Australia is, as you know, is famous for wine. So you can taste this good Shiraz there. And Cottesloe Beach is the famous beach in Perth. So You can visit beach everywhere in Australia. And Fremantle Prison and Fremantle Market is a historic place that you can visit. And Rottnest Island, there is a wild animal called quokka. This is, I heard that it's a native to Western Australia. And okay, so now I want to quote this a little bit controversial Tourism Australia campaign motto. So where the bloody hell are you? So this is a little bit the swearing word. So it was a controversial, but that means wherever you are in the world, please come to Perth for ACES 2021. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for your talk. Okay, so next talk is by Stephen Galbraith about rainbow box crypto. So Johnson, can you yeah, thanks.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
To unmute myself first. Okay.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
All right. But hang on, I need to, are you still seeing the slides?
Not yet.
Okay, hang on a minute.
We only can see your face.
That's terrible. I will try and fix that immediately. Right, here we go.
Yeah, works.
So, I apologize for this talk. We didn't have enough Rump session talks, so
I think it's better to close your Zoom group chat window.
Thanks. Sorry, and I've got strange lines on the page as well, but never mind. Yeah, so basically I volunteered to do this because we were worried the program was too small. So I apologize for this talk. And in particular, the talk is terrible, but one joke is especially very, very bad. I apologize for this joke, but I'm doing it anyway. It will come. Okay, so cryptography. We know in cryptography, we have black boxes, white boxes, gray boxes. These have been studied quite extensively in cryptography. And here is some bibliography of important papers that are studying these problems, and some very highly cited, very influential work. Very important research has been done. But the point I want to make is that it's a little bit boring. We have black, we have white, we have gray. Where's all the colors gone? We want more interesting cryptography than black, white, and gray cryptography. I want to see completely colorful cryptography. It will make my slides look better. Also, very important, we have to value the rainbow. It's important for our community that we have lots of diversity. We are welcoming to many sorts of groups, and it should be a big priority for the IACR to be attractive to lesbian, gay, bi, trans, and queer cryptographers. So this black-white kind of binary notions, these are really unacceptable in cryptography nowadays. We have to be much more inclusive. We need the whole rainbow in our subject. So this is why I propose to introduce rainbow box cryptography to be more welcoming to our diverse community and to be more colorful on our slides. So now for the technical details of the talk. And I'm sorry, this is where the terrible joke comes in. So I'm now going to give you a technical definition of a rainbow box. There's a box, and you can make queries to it. Queries. What am I doing? All right, security definition. What is the adversary? There's no adversary here. We're a nice community. We get on. We're inclusive. There's no adversaries. There's no bad guys anymore. There's no problem at all. And if someone wants to look in the box, well, you just have to ask for my consent. If I like you, you can look in the box. Join the rainbow side. That's the end of my talk. I'm very sorry for this presentation. The end.
Hey, thank you, Stephen. Nice talk. Okay, so let's move to the last talk in this round session by Mihad Abdallah.
Hi there. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
So, Stephen, I actually asked you for if I could have a few more minutes for this talk, but I guess you didn't see my chat message.
Oh, sure. We have plenty of time.
Okay. So let me start the screen sharing. All right. So during this talk, just wanted to, sorry, it's not a joke, but I just wanted to use this time to actually acknowledge some of the people and also to mention some of the awards, in addition to the Best Paper Award. In particular, as you know, there is the ICR has the ICR Test of Time Awards, which is given annually to each of the 3 general conferences: Eurocrypt, Crypto, Asiacrypt. It started a couple of years ago, and the idea is to recognize papers that have had lasting impact on the field. So right now, the way the Test of Time Award works is that for a conference in year X, we'll honor papers published at the same conference at year X minus 15. So for Asiacrypt to 2020, we're considering papers for 2005. And this is selected by a committee that is independent of the board, but 2 of the members are appointed by the board, and the other ones are 3 program chairs of the current year. So for more information, you can just check the Test of Time Award. So this year's committee was chaired by Professor Okamoto, and there was also Yuli Maurer, who is going to be the chair next year. And in addition to that, we had Encanto, Daniele Michancho, and Shiho Mohiai as the program co-chairs of Eurocrypt, Crypto, Asiacrypt. Sorry, that was my phone. So for Asiacrypt Test of Time Award, the paper that received it was a paper by Pascal Payet and Damien Vigneault. Discrete log-based signatures may not be equivalent to discrete log. And it was a paper that was published at Asiacrypt 2005. As you can see, I have Pascal Payet's picture, but I don't have Damien's. This is the picture that Damien used on his webpage, and he's very adamant about not publishing his picture. So I just used the one that he had on his webpage. So I assume that Pascal is present. Pascal, are you around?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. So would you like to say perhaps a few words?
Sure. So first of all, thank you very much for this award. It's a great honor for both Damien, who cannot be here at this time, and myself. So we're very grateful for receiving this honor, this award. I would like just to say 2 things. So the first thing is that if you remember, so 15 years ago, how time flies, but 15 years ago, there was this awesome project, which was eCrypt. And there's been several eCrypt projects, eCrypt flavored projects, but it was mainly about creating this network of excellence at the time. It was funded, sponsored by the European Commission. And it was this great network across all Europe of all these labs and companies working together to make significant advances in crypto. And it was, funny. It's rather funny that Damien and myself were both actually in France. Damien was actually at the University of Caen at the time, and I was working in the industry, and we could have like worked together anyways, but eCrypt really created this bond between the different labs and the different institutions, and it was because of an eCrypt meeting that we got together and got to think about these things that ended up in the paper. And so I just want to like to give some acknowledgement of how eCrypt was awesome and fostered a number of collaborations among us within the community. And we initiated a lot of new work with thanks to eCrypt. And so thank you for eCrypt and Bart Neal, who was the one behind this and organizing everything, convincing the EU to fund us and everything. So really was awesome. And it also shows the power of collaboration. Just, it's the most pleasant thing when doing research to just get together in front of a whiteboard and just chat, discuss about things, try to crack problems. Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you to eCrypt and all the people behind it. The second thing is, so it's been 15 years already, but this paper introduced this notion of meta reduction. And reductions are known, right? This is the basis for provable security, but using meta reductions was not a very it was kind of new at the time, and there's been quite a few papers after that using meta reductions to prove impossibility results, but it could have been more impactful in the sense that I'm a little bit surprised that 15 years after this paper, people are not like automatically using meta reductions to prove impossibility results. It's like we're a little bit too optimistic as cryptographers when we design crypto. We always want to crack problems, but it might also be a very insightful to be lucid about what it is that we can never get as a result. What are the things that we cannot construct? What are the proofs that we have to stop working on because they simply do not exist? And I think we still have to acquire this reflex when we do this security proof, and we can't make it, to try to prove the opposite, because it closes the research topic in some sense, and you answer to the quest that you were exploring. So I would like just to advocate for trying to have impossibility results whenever we can. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you again very much for awarding us with this Test of Time award. It's really a great honor. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Pascal. It's well deserved. So very happy for you.
Thanks.
So next, I would like to use this opportunity to also thank some of the people who made this Asiacrypt possible. And first, I would like to start with one of the program co-chairs, Shiho Mohiai. Shiho, I think you're here. I don't know if you would like to say a few words or.
Well, thank you very much. I have not ready for this ceremony. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank all the people who helped me very much. Thank you.
So just as you can see here, there is a little plaque that eventually I will hope to be able to give her in person. Similar to Pascal and Damien, eventually we intend to give this plaque in person. So the plaque says a certificate of appreciation for Shiho Mohiai in recognition of her contribution to the IACR in the field of cryptology research through the role of Program Chair of Asiacrypt 2020. So next, I would like to thank Professor Wong. so sorry, I have a difficult time actually. I try to practice.
Okay.
First name is Huazia Wang.
Yeah, thank you.
Wang.
Yeah.
So would you like to say a few
okay.
words?
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you for the IACR and also all the PC member in General Chair, my co-chair, Shiho Mihar, in all the people, all the audience. Thank you very much.
All right. So as the certificate of appreciation says, we recognize Professor Wang's recognition for his contribution to the ACR in the field of cryptology research through the role of Program Chair of Asiacrypt 2020. Next, I would like to thank Professor Kwanjo Kim. Professor Kim, would you like to say a few words?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on the restaurant. Since that it is my great honor to serve virtual Asiacrypt 2020. It was a very challenging job, but I think this is the first Asiacrypt virtual conference was success, I believe, due to the all effort from all members and also IACR. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kwanjo.
Thank you.
So as the certificate indicates, ICR recognizes your contribution to the institution, to our institution in the field of cryptology research through the role of General Chair of Asiacrypt 2020. So I would also like to use this opportunity to thank both Kevin McCurley and his daughter Kay McCallie for their amazing work as virtual conference administrators. I guess since we switched to this virtual setting, I think Kevin and Kay has been like extremely important to make everything work. And I think it's amazing that things have been going smoothly as they are. It was not clear at all at the beginning how things would work, but I'm really happy that things have been going really well. And like this is now the last virtual conference for 2020. Unfortunately, in January, we start again with Real World Crypto, which is also going virtual. So I don't know if Kevin and Kay would like to say a few words.
Nothing of substance, just, thanks everybody for being so patient with us as we work through bugs in real time.
I must say there's a lot of people who help also. It's a team effort very much. While we're doing a lot of work for this, it really is important that people work together in the community. That's what makes it work.
So, so before to end this section, this presentation, I'd just like to thank the session chairs for the Rump session, also for the outstanding works, Stephen Galbraith, Joe Young Lee, Yu Sasaki. So thank you for your work. And I really appreciate the time that you have put into it. Thank you all. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much. So we only have like one slot for the closing remarks, and I just like to recall that we are doing the poll to determine the best Rump session talk, and the URL is like posted in the Zoom chat. We just like put it once again, and so if you want to make a vote, then we can just like wait a few seconds like. And Joyeon, do you want to play some music? I mean, recorded by your colleagues or like students.
Okay. Byung-ha, can you play the music?
We like intended to interrupt each talk with this music if the speaker talk too long, but I appreciate like all the speakers keep time and we don't have opportunity to play this one.
So
okay,
definitely some of this work can be used for next year's Rump session.
Yes.
It's almost like traveling to Korea.
There is a club, student club, playing such a traditional Korean music, and I asked them to play some music. Now, I think it's time to end the poll. So far, the best Rump session talk winner goes to Daniel Bernstein. Congratulations for the first time. Yeah. So actually, I hope you all enjoyed our Rump session, and thank you again for your attendance. Thank you.